Day has come and gone, and chances are, whether you celebrate it or not, you might have some really beautiful lingerie that has accumulated over the years and it's served its purpose, and now it's been relegated to like some dark drawer or a dark corner in the bottom of your closet. But no, my friends. No, not today. Not anymore. On this channel, we reuse and restyle every part of our closets, including this gorgeous section of lingerie. Today's video could be probably sponsored by my fantastic friend Yvonne, whose idea this was. She has a beautiful lingerie collection and like just restyle it for day and regular occasions. So I thought this was a fantastic challenge. I've actually borrowed a lot of her pieces from her collection because I'm not gonna lie, my lingerie game is not strong. Working on it. And I'm gonna style them sort of starting, you know, the easiest way. Level 1, little tame, little cutesy, little flirty, and then we'll get progressively more risque as the video goes on. I mean, look, everything's still gonna be appropriate to wear out in public. It'll just depend on your comfort level. And I just wanna give you ideas to really get more use out of what you already have and get creative in how you think of your lingerie, because it could really add to some very basic looks. If you don't follow Yvonne, please go give her a follow. She is a fantastic cocktail and food blogger. Whether you like cocktails or food, I mean, you've got to like one of the two at least, go give her a follow. She's absolutely hysterical. You'll laugh no matter what. I'm gonna leave all her details down below. Let's jump on in. All right, not groundbreaking, I know. I'm working with a very basic black t-shirt bra. I think a lot of us have these in our closets, and I know it's not necessarily groundbreaking to style them under a sheer blouse or top, but I think this is one of the nicest and easiest ways to show off like just a basic t-shirt bra. It gives it a little bit of like edge. So my basic black t-shirt bra, it's really simple. There's a lot of clean lines, and the blouse that I want to wear it with has a geometric print already to it. So rather than going with like a black lace bra underneath this blouse, I chose my regular t-shirt bra because it complements the geometric shapes. Those clean lines in one mimic the clean lines in the other. I also chose black because again, it really works with the black in the blouse here. So really balancing out the color story and the shape with whatever sheer top you're working with makes a huge difference. Also, if wearing sheer tops or showing off your bra is a little bit too risque for you, I also like having a blouse that has a little bit of breathing room and volume. So it's not super tight. Like the only element that is really sort of sexy and cheeky and risque is the sheerness of the shirt. That's all. If you're not feeling the denim and you do want to like bring it up a level, this is probably one of the only scenarios where I would have so much of a focus on lingerie and also do a short skirt. I really like to just balance out the amount of skin we're showing, the amount of that like sex appeal that we're putting out there. I think the balance and keeping it a little bit mysterious is always a good thing. But here I think the skirt really works. It's got structure. Yes, it's short, but we've got a nice stocking. Like it is so much about the skin. And like I said, all of those other elements, like the fact that this is like loose and flowy and very much off the body, we're not really seeing too much of the bra. This is actually, I guess this bodysuit in itself is lingerie. But what we've done is we've added a couple more risky elements. We've got the cutouts here, but also the tightness on the body. The bra itself hasn't changed, right? Like I still like how we're using these really clean lines. It's really mimicking the like sharp lines of the bodysuit. But because everything is tight, because we've got the sheerness, I really felt like it was important to keep that volume on the pant. We're balancing out not only the silhouette with something tight and sheer, we're getting something that still makes us feel not so like exposed. Also, I'm working with a higher heel on this one here. If this is feeling like too much for you, but you still want to like flash a little bit of skin, here's what I would do. I would do something like this. Like you can always just add a moto, you can even add a blazer if that's more your speed. I kind of like how when you move, you know, you still get a little flash of skin, you still get the tightness, so even though this is quite boxy and this is got a lot of volume, we're still good. We're still like feeling a little sexy. We're still showing off some definition in our body. Okay, so if you've got a t-shirt bra that is fun and colorful, I really do think these are also fun to play with. However, because it's bright, because it's colorful, I do want to treat it a little bit differently. Like it's got a little bit more of a sporty, playful vibe. I know I talk often about mixing styles, like boho with edgy or classic with really contemporary. However, with lingerie, I think these harsh harsh contrasts can come off a little bit drastic. This in itself is kind of a cool concept, but to me this is very weather confused. I don't think there's ever a situation where I would like be warm or cold enough to wear both a suede and a heavy denim and then have like nothing underneath. So what I'm gonna do instead, I'm gonna do this. Here we're kind of appreciating more the playful vibe of the bra. We're not seeing like a ton of it. I would wear this if I was like in LA or Miami. Like you also have to pick the venue for these things, right? And if I'm balancing out all of this like skin and this cleavage, because this bra is like full-on cleavage, to balance that out, that's why I'm gonna leave the shirt open, boxy, a little bit loose, and that's why I'm keeping the pants baggy, flowy, so we're really not being too much skin, too exposed. If that was a little bit too much for you, like too loose, and you want something that feels perhaps a little bit more like feminine and sexy, then I would just tie a little knot, but keep the shirt completely open so that we are still appreciating that little bit of like color and fun and little cheekiness. The reason why I went with the chambray shirt is again because I felt like we were kind of playing with that athletic, that leisure vibe. Okay, if you want to amp it up a notch, then I would swap out the pants for something with a little bit more of a tapered silhouette. I wouldn't go like full-on legging, skin tight, but I would go with something that feels a little bit more tapered. If you want to just make this feel easy, day, you know, not too suggestive, then it's all about the footwear. I would just throw on like a little demure flat. This isn't screaming anything wild, but it still feels cute, it feels easy, very wearable. If, however, you did want to swap this look into something that was maybe more like evening or nighttime, I would swap out the shoe. It's all you need to do for a heel. However, in my opinion, I think it's really nice again if we can kind of echo some of the elements in the bra itself. So because this one is like a really pretty floral, it feels a little bit delicate. It's not like one bold, harsh color. I like bringing out and like mirroring the sort of organic texture with the swirly sandal. And then we also get a little bit of tension in like the delicate swirliness of the sandal with the heavy denim and then the bra. Okay, I just also really want to quickly touch on purses in a scenario like this. I feel like your regular everyday purse, it's not horrible, but I wouldn't do it with the shoulder strap. Because we've got the shoe and the bra, I think I want to lean in a little bit more into the feminine side of this thing. However, ideally, I think I would do this with the flat, you know, because then you've got that functionality. With this, I would do this purse here. A little bit more delicate, a little bit more feminine. Okay, here it is with the simple button up. I don't think it works as well, and the reason why is that this fabric is stiff. Any button up fabric will be a little bit stiffer, and we're really not seeing as much as we'd like of this bra. So think about also the drape of the fabric and how you want to show off the bra as well. Okay, yes, times 1,000. I'm pretty sure I've worn this a bunch of times in my life already. I much prefer wearing just a simple triangle bralette or like a lace bra that has a little bit of that deep V so that we can really show it off in the lines of the button down. When you move, it's not like too in your face, but it does work really nicely because you've got those parallel lines running. I also really like having a little bit of lace or some sort of detail when you're doing this mix, simply because it does give like that nice little peak. So because I've got a little bit more of a menswear vibe, I've kept it really delicate with the little sling back. And also, these are another really great cute pair of Ana Luisa earrings. The little pearl also adds a little bit more of that femininity. Okay, so Yvonne's got this fabulous green bra. It's got a really beautiful like lace eyelash detail. Not like super groundbreaking, you know? So we don't really see enough of it to appreciate underneath the button up. So if you can see here, the fabric really isn't playing well with the beautiful eyelash lace detail. So that's something also that we have to consider is the lines of the bra, but also the different fabric mixes. I know what's gonna go a lot better with this green bra. Let me show you. This is what I would do with the green bra here. We're not seeing the full lace eyelash detail here, but I really like how up here, you see how we're appreciating the straps? This is the eyelash lace. I just think it's so pretty. I also find that the lower contrast between the green and the gray looks really nice together. Okay, here's another bodysuit for you, except this one is a lot more spicy. And I think when it comes to bodysuits and bustiers, we often think, oh well, I can put a blazer on top, or like I just did, a button-up, sometimes even a cardigan. But I think we should maybe broaden our perspective from like the typical blazers and cardigans to just a third piece or a third layer. So maybe you've got like an interesting moto. Some of the elements from this bodysuit that I really wanted to pull were like this delicate, it almost feels like a ballerina outfit. You know what I mean? I'm keeping all of the colors nice and soft, and that way we're kind of just pulling from that soft, delicate, like the details in this bodysuit are just phenomenal. And I know I normally don't mix prints and textures, but because this is a desaturated tone and this is a desaturated tone, it's not too much on the eye. They're not competing. There's also this option, simple swap of the shoe. Look at all the difference it makes. If you want to amp it up a notch, this is what I would do. If I had a pair of like brown boots, a little knee-high boot, or even a little thigh-high brown boot action, I would fully do it. But I do not. The black ones just looked way too heavy, the ones that I own. So instead I just went with this little stiletto heel because it's got like this nice sort of similar color palette, muted, neutral tone. We're still getting to see and appreciate the bodysuit underneath a button down. You know, you could even just do this. This feels a little bit more like... I also added a pair of nude fishnet tights. I didn't want to have a completely bare leg because we've got like a lot of like risque, a lot of spice happening up top. So I do want to kind of keep things a little bit, you know, balance things out with a little bit of modesty elsewhere. So here we go. This is how I put this one together. Okay, les amis, I would go with absolute simplicity everywhere else because there is so much going on here. Also because it is so fitted, it is so tight, it is so revealing. I would also go with something that has a really like solid sense of volume on the bottom. And for me personally, I would go with a higher heel, but only if I've got like all this volume to really juxtapose the silhouette. I think if we've got our hair down for this, it almost feels like a little bit too suggestive, but that's just me. So I would make sure my hair is like pulled back or up or something perhaps. If you want a little coverage, I would do this here. I would put like a moto or something perhaps a little bit unexpected, both with the bustier and with the wide leg pants. So you're getting a really interesting tension everywhere. I think everything feels really sleek and minimal, especially with the hair pulled back. And this makes wearing this kind of lingerie that is so in your face a little bit more approachable, a little bit more wearable. Okay, and for those of you who just want to go all out, then I would say don't worry about juxtaposing the silhouettes. If you want to go tight on the bottom, go tight on the bottom. I actually find this really interesting. I thought the lace of the skirt would be too much for the lace of the bustier, but it actually works really well. We've got a little bit more coverage here because of the thicker belt, which feels good. I don't mind the tighter silhouette here on the bottom with all of this, simply because it's still like long, it's not short. I don't know how I would feel about a short tight skirt or even a short skirt in general with this. I think that's just too much skin, too much leg. Whereas this, we've still got some nice coverage. And of course, you can still throw on a shorter little jacket. I think this works really well. I would definitely wear this out. So here's why I absolutely love approaching clothing from the perspective of elements of style, because I never would have thought to put lingerie under lingerie to create this. The elements that I loved the most about the Bordel bra were these beautiful straps, like the thick strap that had that gold hardware and like this really clean, strong line, but also embroidered with this beautiful like two-tone design. And I didn't want to hide it. I just thought, well, if the straps are my favorite part, how can I show them off? So I have this bustier that is like 20 years old. I just thought, what if I layer the bustier over and like tuck it down, like it's still quite comfortable, so that we can fully appreciate the straps of the Bordel bra, and it almost looks like sort of one whole piece, but it's not. It's two 2 pieces of lingerie. And I still feel really comfortable. I still feel covered and modest. I can move. Like, this is fantastic. Okay, finally, what can only be described as like a statement bra. I have this wonderful bra from a company called Bordel. It's really beautiful, but it's also incredibly revealing. What elements really attracted me about this bra in particular are like that mix of the strong bands, the hardware, those clean lines, coupled with the beautiful, delicate embroidery on top in the lighter tones. What I would do here is kind of stick to those clean, stark lines and less into the romantic, delicate side of things because I don't want to feel like I'm trying too hard. The bra itself is already so revealing, so I want to keep everything else relatively modest. So I've got these tailored separates, all of them fitted, but also giving me enough breathing room and off the body so that I don't feel constricted, so that nothing is too tight. When it comes to wearing lingerie under blazers, I love having this extra breathing room. I think that's really important, not only just from a comfort perspective, but also for that like masculine feminine mix. And a single button. This will give you a little bit more like modesty in the sense of if you've got a double breast, then it's really easy for it to gape, whereas the single breast kind of sits and falls a little bit nicer, especially if you've got that breathing room here. So that is what I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, if you learned something new. Hit subscribe if you haven't already, and I will be back in the next slow fashion video.